Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started.
Roman Reigns has now confirmed that a WWE faction is dead and they will not be reuniting. This comes as a huge blow to the fans who had been hoping for a different outcome. On WWE SmackDown this week, Reigns was accompanied by Paul Heyman when they made their way out to the ring for the signing of the WrestleMania 41 contract with Nick Aldis. The other two participants of the triple threat match, Seth Rollins and CM Punk, both made their presence felt as well, with all three stars cutting heated promos that left no doubt that there was no love lost between them. However, before Punk came out, Roman Reigns spoke to Seth Rollins and he confirmed what fans had suspected for a while now, putting an end to any hope that the two may reunite as the Shield ever again. When he heard Seth Rollins talk about what they had done, Roman said that there was no we, and the we was now dead. He confirmed that there would be no reunion of the former friends and faction mates, even though they both are in WWE. He said that when it came to their work in the company, it had been only him who had been carrying it and he was responsible for bringing them to where they are. "We died a long time ago, it's only been me, you've been here but I've done all the work," Reigns said. The time for the faction has now passed. While nothing is ever certain in wrestling, this seemed to be the final nail in the coffin for the Shield. Roman Reigns will face two of his biggest rivals at WrestleMania in the main event of Night 1. As was confirmed on SmackDown this week, the match between Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and CM Punk won't just be another normal triple threat bout at WrestleMania. Instead, the three stars are facing one another in the main event of the first night. CM Punk has been working toward getting in the main event of WrestleMania forever now. This confirmation finally solidifies the fact that his dream is coming true. With that being the case, fans will have to wait and see what happens when the three meet. With Paul Heyman's favor hovering over them, there's a lot of doubt as to the outcome. The WWE Universe was left in shock last night when Roman Reigns, the longest-reigning Universal Champion in modern history, stood in the center of the ring and declared the inevitable: the Bloodline is dead. For years, the Bloodline dominated WWE programming, establishing itself as the most powerful faction in recent memory. From the moment Reigns rebranded himself as the Tribal Chief and aligned with his cousins, the Usos, and later, Solo Sikoa, their dominance was unquestioned. Championships, betrayals, family drama, everything revolved around the Bloodline's rule over SmackDown and beyond. But now, all of that is over. A stunning announcement. Reigns' shocking declaration came at the start of WWE SmackDown, following weeks of internal chaos within the faction. With a solemn look, he took his time stepping into the ring, flanked only by Paul Heyman, whose demeanor suggested he already knew what was coming. "A lot of people have been asking what's next for the Bloodline," Reigns said, scanning the sold-out crowd. "For years, we ran WWE. We made this place ours. But everything has to come to an end." A mixed reaction echoed throughout the arena. Some fans cheered, others booed, but most were in disbelief. Reigns continued, "The Bloodline is dead. We don't move forward as a unit. We don't regroup. We don't rebrand. It's over." The camera cut to Paul Heyman, who gulped nervously. The wise man had been there through it all, but even he seemed to realize that this was truly the end. The fall of the Bloodline. The seeds of the Bloodline's destruction had been sown months ago. The first major crack appeared when Jimmy Uso shockingly turned on his own twin brother, Jey Uso, at SummerSlam. This betrayal set off a chain reaction, leading to Jey leaving WWE, albeit briefly, and Jimmy struggling to find his place. Solo Sikoa, the enforcer, remained loyal to Reigns, but not without his own frustrations. Reports had surfaced of internal tensions growing behind the scenes, with Solo feeling underappreciated despite carrying out Reigns' dirty work. His loss to Cody Rhodes at a recent PLE added more fuel to the fire. Then, there was the wild card, Jacob Fatu. Many speculated that the arrival of the Samoan powerhouse could reinvigorate the Bloodline, but instead, his debut only accelerated its collapse. Solo's growing admiration for Jacob Fatu reportedly did not sit well with Reigns, leading to tension within their ranks. And of course, the biggest factor of all, the one name that stood tall among them, Jey Uso. The man who had defied Reigns time and time again, only to be pulled back in by family loyalty, had finally severed ties. When Jey left SmackDown and declared himself free, it was a clear sign that the Bloodline was no longer the same. What's next for Roman Reigns? With the Bloodline officially dead, the question remains, what does this mean for Roman Reigns? He is still the undisputed WWE Universal Champion, but his empire has crumbled. His loyal soldiers are gone, and his influence has weakened. Rumors suggest that Reigns may be shifting his focus toward a new goal, cementing his legacy beyond the bloodline. Some believe he may take a hiatus to reassess his position, while others speculate that he could be looking for new allies to create an entirely different kind of dominance in WWE. Interestingly, WWE Hall of Famer The Rock has been teasing involvement in Reigns' story. Could we see a dream match between the Tribal Chief and the Great One at WrestleMania? If Reigns truly wants to prove he is still the head of the table, such a clash could be the defining moment of his career. The fate of the Usos and Solo Sikoa. The bloodline may be dead, but its former members are far from finished. Jey Uso is thriving as a singles competitor on Monday Night Raw, distancing himself from the chaos of his family's past. His ability to connect with fans has skyrocketed, proving that he never needed the bloodline to succeed. Jimmy Uso, however, is at a crossroads. With his brother gone and Reigns disbanding the bloodline, his next steps remain uncertain. He has expressed frustration in recent interviews, hinting that he might have a score to settle with both Jey and Solo. As for Solo Sikoa, many believe he could forge his own path as a dominant force on SmackDown. With Jacob Fatu in the picture, there's speculation that the two could form their own alliance, separate from the shadow of Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman, the Wiseman's next move. Paul Heyman's reaction to Reigns' announcement was one of quiet devastation. The Wiseman has always been a master strategist, but this was uncharted territory. Without the bloodline, where does he go? Does he continue advising Reigns, or does he seek out a new protege? One possibility is that Heyman could align himself with Solo Sikoa, much like he did with Brock Lesnar after his time with CM Punk ended. Another possibility is that he could look outside the bloodline entirely, perhaps finding new talent to mold into the next big thing. A new era begins. The Bloodline's reign over WWE is officially over. The faction that once controlled every major storyline, held championship gold, and redefined the concept of family in wrestling has finally crumbled. But while the Bloodline is dead, its influence will never be forgotten. Roman Reigns, the Usos, Solo Sikoa, each of them played a role in shaping an unforgettable chapter in WWE history. Now, as they go their separate ways, the WWE Universe is left to wonder what comes next. One thing is for certain, Roman Reigns is not done. He may have put the bloodline to rest, but his story is far from over. And when the Tribal Chief returns, WWE will once again be forced to acknowledge him.